Hello viewers, we were discussing about the qualitative systematic analysis of organic compound, in which we have discussed about the preliminary test. In the preliminary test we have discussed the physical state, the color, the odor, how can you test for ignition test, solubility test, saturation unsaturation test. Then we have discussed in the detail about the sodium extract test. Then we have started the functional group detection. In the series of functional group detection, we have discussed about how to analyze the carboxylic functional group, how to analyze the phenolic functional group, that we have discussed in detail how to analyze the carbonyl functional group, in which we can differentiate, we can distinguish either the given organic compound or carbonyl compound may be aldehydic or ketone. And now we are discussing about the esters. You know, esters are derivative of carboxylic acid, and when we are doing the hydrolysis of ester, we will get back carboxylic acid, and we can do the hydrolysis with the help of acid catalyze in the acid catalyze or in the base catalyze. The esters of carboxylic acid on heating with dilute aqueous acid or alkali yield carboxylic acids and alcohol, and you can see the reaction. Ester, when reacting with water molecule in the presence of a small amount of mineral acid, you will get the carboxylic acid, that is RCOOH plus alcohol. What is that? ROH. How can you distinguish between alcohol and phenol? In phenol, OH is directly linked to the benzene ring, and in alcohol, OH is directly linked to the alkyl group. Okay, this is how you can differentiate. And in the alkaline medium, again, first of all, you will get the sodium salt of carboxylic acid along with the alcohol, and on hydrolysis you will get the RCOOH along with the water molecule. Acid catalyzed hydrolysis is slow and reversible and does not proceed to completion. Alkali promoted hydrolysis is almost irreversible, so you can differentiate. Now we are taking the point which hydrolysis we should takes place in the lab, either hydrolysis acid catalyzed or alkali promoted or base catalyzed. Alkali promoted hydrolysis is faster and gives almost quantitative yield of product. It means it gives good yield of the product. For this reason, in the lab always alkali promoted hydrolysis is preferred. So this is the overall reaction mechanism of acid catalyzed ester hydrolysis. What kind of mechanism is there? You can see in the first step, first of all, protonation is there from the acid molecule, from the protonated water molecule. First of all, protonated water molecule is formed by the addition of hydrogen from the mineral acid. Now this proton will get attached to the carbonyl oxygen because it is electronegative in nature. It is attached to the electrophilic carbon, and you will get the nucleophilic addition product over here, or we can say oxonium ion. O plus H is your oxonium ion. In the second step, the nucleophilic addition by the water molecule to the carbonyl carbon will takes place, because with the addition of this positive charge, with the addition of the proton, oxygen will have a positive charge, and the pi electron between carbon and oxygen get easily shifted due to the attachment of hydrogen to the oxygen. So we are making the electrophilic carbon, carbonyl carbon. Here the nucleophile attack to this electrophilic carbon. And what is nucleophile over here? Water molecule with the lone pair of electron. So you will get the tetrahedral intermediate, right? In the third structure, you can see here carbon with 4 valency, you will have a tetrahedral intermediate. In the third step, proton transfer will takes place. In the third step, proton transfer will takes place. In fourth step also you can see how the proton transfer, and in the fifth step there is a elimination of alcoholic molecule. How the elimination took place, it is crystal clear from the structure. So with the hydrolysis, acid catalyzed hydrolysis, this is how you can get the carboxylic acid, and this is the mechanism. Another mechanism I have told you, the base catalyzed, and it is preferably done in the lab because it is irreversible and proceed to the completion. The base catalyzed ester hydrolysis turns to be more beneficial the carboxylic acid formed during the reaction is deprotonated by the alkoxide or the hydroxide ion, making the overall reaction irreversible. How it takes place? You can see in the reaction. This is the overall mechanism, base catalyzed ester hydrolysis. Now we can see in the fragment. Okay, here you can see how the nucleophilic addition of OH molecule, where this OH comes out, it comes out from the NaOH from the base. It will directly attach to the carbonyl carbon, right? Why carbonyl carbon? Because due to displacement of pi electron towards more electronegative oxygen atom, it leaves behind a electrophilic carbonyl carbon, and then it is attacked by the OH moiety, and you will get a tetrahedral intermediate. So in the first step, nucleophilic addition of OH will takes place. In the second step, elimination of OR moiety. What is OR? This is alkoxy when R group is alkyl, and if R group is aryl, it will be aryloxy. So with the addition of OH, you will get a tetrahedral intermediate. You can see in the central carbon there is attachment of O negative, there is attachment of OH, there is attachment of OR dash and R also, right. Now what will happen in the second step? There is a elimination of OR. So you will get back the RCOOH. Deprotonation of carboxylic acid will also takes place with the RO moiety, and you will get the carboxylate ion. This carboxylate ion will not go further reaction, right, makes base catalyzed ester hydrolysis irreversible, since the carboxylate ion can no longer be attacked by a nucleophile. So this is why we preferably do base catalyze. Simply what you need to do, you have to take the given organic compound in a test tube, ester moiety, and then you have to add the dilute solution of NaOH solution, and you will get the carboxylic acid compound. Now if you want to test another functional group, that is alcohol, how can you proceed? First test is given here with the sodium metal test. With the sodium metal test, please take this note that you have to take a dry test tube. Please do not take a test tube in which some moisture is there or some water droplets is there. No, you have to take a dry test tube. Take the given alcohol in a test tube, a small amount, 2-3 drops, and then a dry sodium piece. Dry means why? Why dry? Because sodium metal piece are kept in the kerosene oil. Then you have to take out the sodium piece, a small piece of sodium, and dry within the folds of filter paper, and then simply add to the given organic compound, that is alcoholic functional group. What will happen there? There will be evaluation of effervescences in the form of effervescences. You can see hydrogen gas is eliminated. Why effervescences comes out in the solution? Because of the formation of hydrogen gas. So here the reaction proceed. You can see ROH is the alcoholic compound, any alcoholic compound, and you are adding sodium. You will get first of all sodium alkoxide and along with the hydrogen gas. Example is also given over here. Methanol, when reacts with sodium metal, you will get sodium methoxide and hydrogen gas. Another test you can do for the detection of alcoholic functional group, I have already cleared about you. How can you check whether, if I talk about C6H5CH2OH, benzyl alcohol, please mind it, it is not a phenol, because OH group is not directly linked to the benzene group. It is first linked to the CH2 group, then linked to the benzene group. So first of all you need to distinguish, you should have a clear idea about the phenolic function group. In phenolic function group, OH will be directly linked to the phenyl group or benzene ring, and in alcohols the OH group is directly linked to the any alkyl group, right. Another test here is steric ammonium nitrate test. What is this? You have to take the given organic compound in a test tube, 2-3 drops. Generally alcohols are liquid in nature. You have seen ethyl alcohol, you must heard about the methyl alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, these are the alcohols. After addition of cearic ammonium nitrate reagent, what you will get? You will get a red color. In this slide you can see which kind of red color will be there, and the presence of red color will indicate the conformation of alcoholic functional group in the given organic compound. If you want to know more about what is cearic ammonium nitrate, it is a yellow solution. You can see in the left hand side in vials, it is a yellow solution. It is a oxidizing agent that react with alcohol to give pink or red complex and with the phenol to give a brown or greenish brown precipitate. How the reaction proceed? You can see the master formula of alcohol, ROH. How can we represent alcohol if someone is asking you? ROH. And what is the molecular structure of cearic ammonium nitrate? NH4 का whole twice, Ce cerium, NO3 nitrate whole 6. And you can see the structure of complex which is pink or red in color. ROH का whole twice, Ce NO3 का whole 4 along with ammonium nitrate, that is NH4 NO2. And example will also given. Suppose you will given methyl alcohol. What is methyl alcohol? It is CH3OH. And how the reaction proceed? Now the ROH get replaced by CH3OH. If this reaction you have to proceed with the C2H5OH, that is ethyl alcohol, then you can replace this CH3OH with the C2H5OH. So this is how you can confirm, you can check the possibility of alcoholic functional group in the given organic compound. Now if alcohol, you have already confirmed that alcohol is there, how can you distinguish that the alcoholic functional group is primary in nature, secondary or tertiary alcohol? You can distinguish with the test Lucas test, okay? And the hydroxyl group, because in alcohol is a poor leaving group and is not readily displaced by nucleophiles. You know what is nucleophiles? Any moiety which is electron rich or having negative charge. For example, if I talk about OH negative, it is a nucleophile. For example, if I talk about OR negative, it is a nucleophile. If I talk about H2O water molecule with the lone pair of electron in oxygen atom, it will also react as nucleophile. If I talk about ammonia, it is with nitrogen with lone pair of electron will act as a nucleophile. So these are the examples of nucleophiles. In a strongly acidic solution, however, the protonation, the OH group can occur and the water, a good leaving group, may be displaced. Right. Now what is Lucas reagent? It is nothing but a anhydrous zinc chloride dissolved in concentrated HCl, means hydrochloric acid, will cause the conversion of alcohol to insoluble alkyl chlorides. And here you can see the reactions how can proceed. Primary alcohol means RCH2OH, mean you can replace the hydrogen with the alkyl group R group. R2CH, 2 hydrogen get replaced by 2 alkyl group. Tertiary alcohol R3COH, 3 hydrogen get replaced by 3 alkyl group. How the reaction proceed? You can see, first of all, in the primary alcohol you will get the RCH2Cl. In the second you can see R2CHCl, and colorless appears on heating and after 5 minutes. So you can distinguish how the reaction proceed when we proceed the reaction with primary, with secondary and tertiary. And if tertiary alcohol is there, the colorless appears immediately, means tertiary alcoholic functional group is there. How the turbidity appears? You can see in the picture, in a clear solution is there, it is transparent, and what is the turbidity you can also see. So Lucas test is a test to distinguish between primary, secondary or tertiary with the reagent anhydrous zinc chloride in HCl. Here also some examples are also given. 2-methylpropanone, 2-ol tertiary alcohol, then secondary propane 2-ol, then ethanol, right? In case of tertiary alcohol, you will see immediate appearance of turbidity. And what will be the name of the compound? You can see 2-chloro-2-methylpropane. If slow appearance of turbidity, the alcohol will be secondary in nature, right? If no reaction at room temperature, turbidity appears only on heating. So this is how you can distinguish the alcohol, whether it is primary, secondary or tertiary. Now test for ethers. Ethers can be detected. What are ethers? First of all, you must aware what are ethers. How can we write down ethers? ROR means oxygen is linked with 2 alkyl group, right, or 2 aryl group, or 1 alkyl or 1 aryl group. This is how you can remind the structure of ether. Ethers can be detected by the iodine test. As the ether undergoes a reaction with iodine, the color of the solution changes from purple to tan color. How the reaction proceed? You can see ether R2OR. You can also write down ROR. Reacting with iodine, you will get R2OR. The treatment of an ether, another test is there to detect the ether. The treatment of an ether with hydroiodic acid results in the cleavage of the ether. The alkyl iodide product is heated and its vapor undergo reaction with mercuric nitrate to form mercuric iodide, which is orange in color, right. So you can see ROR is the structure formula of ether. When it is reacting with hydrogen iodide, it will give alkyl iodide, that is Ri. The reaction is also given with the aromatic ether, that is AR. You can easily remind AR the representation of aromatic substituent, and it will give you phenol. In the first reaction, you will get the water moiety as a side product, but with the aromatic ether, you will get the phenol. And when you have added mercuric acetate in it, you will get the mercuric iodide, which is orange in color. So the color will indicate the presence of ether function group in your given organic compound. Now hydrocarbons. First of all, what are hydrocarbons? Hydrocarbons are a special function group in which only carbon and hydrogen are there. No other element is there. No another function group is there. So how can you confirm the presence of hydrocarbons? Let us see first of all, the 4 classes of hydrocarbons are alkanes. What are alkanes? You are very much aware, these are saturated hydrocarbon, means there are only single bonds in carbon and hydrogen. What are alkenes? These are hydrocarbons that contain at least one carbon-carbon double bond, means unsaturation, and can be confirmed. We have discussed in detail how can you confirm the unsaturation in the given organic compound. In the preliminary test, we have discussed that you can confirm, you can check the possibility of unsaturation with the help of mild oxidizing agent, that is bromine solution. Bromine solution is of brown or yellow color, which get decolorized if unsaturation is there, if alkenes is there in the given organic compound. Now you have to think, you will be thinking that why I am talking about the preliminary test. Is there any confirmatory test for hydrocarbons? No. You have to confirm the presence of hydrocarbons with the elimination process. How? When in the given organic compound all kind of possibility of function group is not there, that is carboxylic group absent, phenolic function group absent, amide, amines, ester, ether, all the possibilities are not there, then you have to think, then what should be the possibility of the organic compound? Definitely it will be your hydrocarbons. Then you have to recall whether the saturation or unsaturation test comes out positive, and if it was positive, if bromine solution get decolorized by the given organic compound, it indicates that the possibility of the compound may be hydrocarbons, may be alkenes or may be alkynes, because in both function group alkenes or alkynes, double bond, or if we talk about alkenes, carbon-carbon triple bond is there. So this is how you can confirm the hydrocarbons. What are aromatic hydrocarbons? Aromatic compound, you have already checked the possibility of aromaticity, the possibility of aromatic compound in the preliminary test with the ignition test, but sometimes it is not comes out correctly. So again you have to check the possibility of other function group. You have to confirm the presence of hydrocarbons with the absence of all rest functional groups. What are aromatic hydrocarbon? These are hydrocarbons that contain an aromatic ring. An aromatic ring is a circular arrangement of alternating double and single bond. You have seen the benzene moiety. What is that? This is a aromatic, simplest aromatic compound. Alternate single double bond, conjugation is there, delocalization is there. So, we will not talk about in detail what is aromaticity. Our focus is different. We have just to take a simple line. How can you say that the given organic compound may be aromatic in nature or not? For example, 1-hexene, cyclohexane, cyclohexene, phenylacetylene, and can be confirmed by elimination process of all the functional group. You can see the structure of phenylacetylene. So, if we talk about this structure phenylacetylene, in which you can see that there is a benzene ring, along with there is also a triple bond is also there. So, unsaturation test comes out positive from where? If we talk about the unsaturation test given by benzene, whether it is positive or negative, no doubt benzene is having alternate single double bond, it is having unsaturation, but it is stable towards bromine solution or towards KMnO4 solution. What does it mean? It means the ring will not open, the double bond will not oxidize by the bromine solution. So, it will neutral towards the bromine solution, it will neutral towards the KMnO4 solution. But if I talk about phenylacetylene, this benzene ring will of course will not react with bromine solution or KMnO4 solution, but the triple bond which is in open straight chain will definitely give the unsaturation test, will definitely react with the bromine solution, will decolorize the bromine solution, will decolorize the KMnO4 solution, right. I hope you will clear about the fact saturation, unsaturation. Now, you can also see another organic compound, another aromatic hydrocarbon, that is toluene. What is toluene? This is C6H5CH3. Right. So, this is aromatic, no functional group is there, you can see no phenolic functional group is there, no alcohol, no carbonyl, no ester, no ether. So, of course, it is a hydrocarbon. Metaxylene, you can also see this is orthoxylene, not metaxylene. So, correct the nomenclature. Now, the test for amines. We have discussed in detail about the hydrocarbons. Now, how can you confirm the presence of amines? What are amines? First of all, let us take the structure. What are amines? You can recall amines are the derivatives of ammonia. Means one of the hydrogen of ammonia get replaced by R group, replaced by alkyl group, right. Amines can be primary, amines can be secondary, amines can be tertiary. If one hydrogen replaced by ammonia, it will be your primary amine. If two hydrogen of ammonia get replaced by alkyl or aryl group, it will be your secondary amine. If 3 hydrogen get replaced by alkyl or aryl group, it will be your tertiary amine. So, how can you go for the test detection of amines? Amines can be easily tested by solubility test. How? Because you know amines are derivative of ammonia, and ammonia or derivatives of ammonia like amines are basic in nature, because nitrogen is having lone pair of electron. If you can recall, you can easily understand this concept why it is basic in nature. So, if it is basic in nature, it will directly react with the any kind of mineral acid. We can see HCl, we can see any mineral acid. So, what kind of reaction proceed? You can see here aniline structure formula is there, C6H5NH2. It is a primary aromatic amine, and when it reacts with HCl, HCl is what? A mineral acid, and it will reacts. It will gives a acid base reaction and will give you the addition product, right. So, amines can easily detect by the preliminary test with the solubility test, but please take this note, it is not at all a confirmatory test, it is the test we have done in the preliminary test. So, in the today's lecture we have discussed the different functional groups. We have discussed in detail how can you detect the phenolic functional group in the given organic compound. So many tests I have discussed, but in the lab you have to perform only one confirmatory test, depend on the availability of the reagent. We have discussed in detail carbonyl group. Then how can we distinguish whether the carbonyl group is aldehyde group or ketone group, right? Then we have discussed in detail about the hydrolysis of esters. How can you detect the presence of ester? The first foremost test I have discussed about the hydrolysis. Hydrolysis can be done by acid catalysis, can be done by alkyl hydrolysis. Then I have discussed in detail about the ethers, I have discussed in detail about the alcohols, and there is a Lucas test which is a wonderful test to distinguish whether the alcohol is. So, you have to perform the test with the anhydrous zinc chloride along with the HCl, and you can detect whether the alcohol is primary, secondary and tertiary. Hopefully, you will get benefit out of it. Thank you so much.